Hi, everyone. I'm Jody Schwan, the founder and publisher of Sioux Falls Business. Welcome to another edition of Talent Thursday. The holiday weekend is in sight, but before you call it a week, we want you to dial in with us here and get to know a really fantastic person that we're featuring this week. As always, my co-host Denise Gazzetta at the Sioux Falls Development Foundation has found us a great guest who can talk about a variety of different things. So Denise, thanks as always, and why don't you introduce us?
Yeah, so today we have Tanner Beukelman. So you guys might have remembered him when he was at Journey. Well, he now has a new position with South Dakota GOED, and so we're excited to bring him back. He is one of our talent rebounders, so he went to college somewhere else and came back to our wonderful state. So welcome him.
Hi, Tanner. Nice to see you again. We always enjoyed working with you at Journey, and it's really fun now to detail your career path.
Oh boy, yes.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
So I'm going to back up here. First of all, as Denise said, you're a business development representative for the Governor's Office of Economic Development. And we do have a lot of college students who tune into Talent Thursday. And I know when I was in college, I would not have known what they did at the Governor's Office of Economic Development or what a job like yours might entail. So what does a typical day look like for you? What is this job all about?
Yeah, so a lot of the times, people probably think just because we have the governor's office name in our title that we are super heavy into the political side of things, and we're really not. We really just focus mainly on the economy and how we can build the economy in South Dakota and all across South Dakota. My day can vary from different meetings all around downtown, meeting with potential clients or projects that are looking to expand their business, move to South Dakota, or anything in between, hiring new employees, looking for grants, looking for low interest loans. So we're here to help them. Or even if it's not in one of our industries, we have a lot of contacts here that we can use just being a part of the state that we can help get them connected and moved in the right direction if we are not able to assist them ourselves. So it can vary from having meetings to phone calls to Teams meetings. All over the country right now. So South Dakota has been a very popular place for businesses to move to the past 2 years. And our office has definitely felt that, which is a great thing for the state.
There's so much interest in South Dakota. Both,
Yes.
first of all, our existing businesses looking to expand, which I know you support that as well, but then so much out of state interest. I mean, are you guys able to keep up? What is that pipeline of activity?
Yeah.
Right
So
now?
it was pretty crazy for about a year and a half straight, where probably for the first time ever, we were almost getting more leads from out of state than we were in state. Usually we're about 70% in state and then maybe 30% out of state. It kind of flipped for a little bit. I would say right now we're probably back to a little bit more normal. It's kind of slowed down with the out of state lookers just a little bit. We still have tons of interest, but I would say the people that are coming from out of state now are probably a little bit more serious about their move to South Dakota. In the height of the pandemic, we had a lot of people that wanted to move here that it just sounded good at the time. So they were making inquiries and then maybe just didn't move forward. But right now, if they're looking from out of state, it's probably a pretty serious inquiry. And we're still seeing those come in. But I would say most of my projects have moved from out of state to probably in-state smaller companies that are just looking to expand because they can't keep up with demand right now with supply chain and everything. So it's been a busy year and a half though.
Denise, it kind of mirrors what your office of the Sioux Falls Development Foundation. There's a lot of similarity here, between what these teams do.
Absolutely. I mean, so I can tell you first and foremost, I'm from the East Coast. Whenever I have a conversation with anybody back home or I travel, because I do travel a lot on business, I always hear about how wonderful our state is, how wonderful our governor is. The fact that our business friendly climate is really attractive, the fact that our educational institutes, our colleges, our universities produce very talented people. And so as I'm listening to Tanner talk about all of this, I just get excited because it is really a great place to live. And it does mirror when you think about the attraction on the business side and the businesses that have moved here or are moving here in the last 2 years. And then we think about the fact that we're looking at, talent itself and where are they moving from? They're moving from Iowa and they're moving from Illinois and they're moving from California and even places like Virginia, my home state. So wonderful to see this. And I think just a really timely conversation with Tanner just to kind of catch back up and just talk about not only his own career, but also about all the activity in our state, because it really is. I mean, this is a tremendous amount of activity in our state. So.
And Tanner, I believe you're a South Dakota native, right? Who, as Denise said, left for a time and then came back?
Correct. Yes. I was born and raised in Sioux Falls, went to Lincoln High School. And then after that, I departed and for 4 years went to Southern California and kind of lived the beach life for 4 years in the Los Angeles area, 25 miles south of there in Orange County. And I would say probably for the first 2 years, I didn't see myself coming back to South Dakota. I absolutely loved it. It was a great time. But the last 2 years I moved off campus and then I got to experience what the LA area really had to offer, which was high cost of living, terrible traffic, not as safe of a city to be in. And it kind of just made me realize how great Sioux Falls area is and how what they can provide here, and that we do have basically everything that California has, except we have more seasons.
There you go.
Which gets a little cold. But yeah, so it was, the last few years made me realize that Sioux Falls was a great place to start as a young professional, and there's so many opportunities, and the downtowns are growing like crazy. And so it was just, I made the decision to come back, and it's been a great decision. So
as a young professional, how have you been able to connect to the community beyond just your jobs?
yeah, so I'm pretty frequent with YPN here in town, Young Professionals Network. They do a great job for promoting events and getting people involved, even if you don't know anyone. If you go to one event, you'll be able to meet tons of people and create friends and relationships outside of work as well. I had the benefit of growing up in Sioux Falls, so a lot of my friends that maybe went to SDSU or another state for school, a lot of them then did actually end up coming back to the state as well. So I had them to hang out with and create friends and business relationships and all that. So it's been an easy transition moving back after school.
Fantastic. And I mean, you, as Denise mentioned, we met you in your job at Journey, which is different than what you're doing today. So you've already been able to try out a couple of different types of occupations.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. So I was in marketing, and I was mainly on the marketing team over at Journey. Helped a little bit with the business development side of things, and love the job, love the company. Great company. But when this position opened, it kind of just fit my role a little bit more of getting out and talking with people and being out of the office and working and bettering the state. So I love the state, and I love promoting it and being able to helping impact the economy and create jobs and good jobs as well. So it was just the right move at the right time. So it was a good one.
We hear this, Denise, theme from young professionals about how easy it is to get connected, which is always great to hear.
Right. And one of the things about Tanner is, and this, we also hear this from our young professionals, is he's a homeowner. And he's relatively, we're not talking age here, but you're relatively early in your career, right? And so the affordability, I mean, that's a real thing. And making that investment in something that is going to pay dividends in the future, so you think about real estate and what it means to your own investment. But we do hear this. We hear all the time about how cohesive and connected our town is and our community. One of the things as I'm listening to Tanner and I'm thinking about when I met you, Tanner, early, and I kind of thought about how you were engaging those young people and really being active in one of our programs. There's so many opportunities here to do that. And that's another thing that really shines in Sioux Falls is we have all of these ability and all of these opportunity to just take time to get involved and really immerse yourself in a community. And that, I think, just makes your whole perspective and your whole life more rich because you're really around other people, like-minded people, getting engaged, doing a lot of good things. And our kids and our time together was with working with kids. So I think that's great.
Yeah, Tanner, you get to have these conversations with businesses looking at expanding and relocating. I'm guessing, this quality of life conversation comes up and the livability factor comes up. But, if you're talking to someone your age, for instance, older or younger too, and they just have no clue about Sioux Falls or South Dakota, and maybe they've heard it on the national news, but as far as what is it actually like to live in Sioux Falls, what do you do for fun? What does your life look like when you're not working here?
Yeah, so personally, so I grew up on the water when I was little. So my family has a boat, and so that's one thing that I do for fun outside in the summer and the winter. we're lucky enough, it's nothing big, but we have Great Bear if you like to get outside and go snowboarding or skiing or cross country skiing, whatever it is. There is something to provide outside all time of year. The Sioux River, get some kayaking in. Otherwise, I'm involved with sand volleyball leagues in the summer that with people that I met through YPN actually. So that's one way, just getting involved in just those extracurricular activities around town. There's so many to be a part of outside of YPN, just joining sports leagues, or I also joined a tennis league out at Huther Match Point out at the Sanford Sports Complex. I've met great individuals of all ages from there. I mean, we play every Thursday night, so I'm playing tonight at 6:30, and it's a group of 4 of us, and it's 2 doctors that are like 36, me, and then a guy that works in IT. And so I didn't know any of those guys before, and just so joining a random league like that, Sioux Falls is very welcoming, and it's not nerve-wracking to go into a league where I didn't know anyone, and they're all welcoming, and now we get together afterwards and have a meal or whatever it may be. So there's just so many different opportunities to get involved with all age groups, whether it be young professionals or middle 30s, people that I probably wouldn't hang out with otherwise, besides I met them through just an extracurricular activity like that.
That's great. And those things are just growing all the time. I don't care if you're into athletics,
Definitely.
or arts,
Whatever
or,
it may be.
whatever, comics, right? I mean, like,
Yep.
seriously, there's a group, there's a niche for everybody.
Yep, exactly. There's a group for everything. I like to play sports. That's kind of my niche, but whatever your niche may be, there's a group of it in Sioux Falls that is easy to find.
Yeah, for sure. Normally on Talent Thursday, we ask the person, is your employer hiring, or, are there jobs where you work? State government's a little different in your office in particular. I don't know that you guys have any openings, but you definitely talk to businesses all the time that do. So what is your sense of those opportunities for people looking for jobs today?
Yeah, so a lot of our jobs right now that we're working with are kind of in the manufacturing industry right now. So a lot of those don't require a degree actually. No, some of them do, but if we're working with them, they're paying solid wages. So I would just say there's 20-some thousand jobs out there on the DLR website. So there's something out there for everyone to go do and look for. So yeah, we're specifically not as of right now hiring, but there are tons of great companies in South Dakota that are. And so if you need to find something, go on the South Dakota Labor website, and all the jobs are listed on there.
I would say too, if you're just watching this and thinking, I'm just intrigued by Sioux Falls, by South Dakota, I could just see myself living there, and now I got to figure out the job. We can work with you. Denise's office can, and GOED or someone within state government can as well, to help you find that match and help you find that fit. That's part of what we're here to do, right, guys?
Definitely.
Yeah, and we have a website, so it's Work Sioux Falls, which listed by employer and listed by job cluster, but you can find a lot of employment opportunities there as well if you're exclusively just looking in Sioux Falls, which we're talking about today. But I think the information on Department of Labor's website is really great. It gives you a very comprehensive overview of what our state is doing as far as hiring and the types of businesses that are looking to hire. And again, we can't stress enough that the businesses here really invest in people like Tanner and Jody. You invest in your employees. I know with us and our foundation, we invest in our employees, and that's a benefit, and that's something that really makes you feel just more valued and appreciated. So it's a really good climate.
Yeah, and those opportunities are still here. I think elsewhere we're starting to see a little bit of a slowdown in hiring. There's definitely still many openings in Sioux Falls and in South Dakota, although we are seeing people move here too. Our labor force has grown a lot, which has been encouraging, but there's definitely still room for more. Tanner, it is great to hear how things are going for you. And
yes, thanks for having me.
Your career has taken. So thanks again for helping us out, for sharing your story. Denise, any closing thoughts for you before we wrap it up?
No, just the closing thoughts is just, if you're interested and you're listening to a lot of the things we're talking about, and maybe you're having, of somebody that wants to have a job opportunity or is looking for a job, or maybe you're looking for some advice to hire, more people and more strategy. We have Win in Workforce that's coming up on October 26th, which is going to be a really great event. If you're a SHRM professional or HR professional, you get those continuing educational credits. So just check us out, because that information is out there and it's listed on our website.
All right, so enjoy the holiday weekend, both of you, and everybody who's watching. We will be back with you soon with another edition of Talent Thursday. And definitely, if you've not signed up for Win and Workforce yet, you have to do that. It's the best program yet, and you're going to come away with all kinds of actionable ideas right away. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching,
Thank you.
everybody, and we will see you on our next edition. Bye.